Good to have you with us. We start this hour with this story. Zandile Mafe, the man accused of setting Parliament alight, has been charged with terrorism at his bail hearing in the Cape Town Magistrate's Court. He is facing charges of arson, possession of an explosive device, and housebreaking, in addition, of course, to that charge of terrorism. His lawyer, Luvuyo Kodla, says Mafe is being used as a scapegoat. Let me take you to eNCA reporter Ayesha Ismail, who is covering that story for us and joins us now for an update. So that escalated quickly, Ayesha, from those charges that were serious to start with, at least from the perspective of the prosecution. Scapegoating, if you go by what the defense, his lawyers were saying, to actually now we're talking terrorism.
That is indeed so, Tulas, and according to Zandile Mafe's lawyer, and we know now this morning that advocate Zandile Mafe joined the legal team, and he addressed the court today and acted on behalf of Zandile Mafe, and he was saying that that extra charge was sprung on them this morning. He said that they had no idea that he was going to be charged with terrorism, and that, of course, did not give them an opportunity to prepare properly. But be that as it may, Zandile Mafe said that he came to court today to bring a bail application, only to be told that there's an additional charge of terrorism, and also to be told that Zandile Mafe had been assessed by a district surgeon and had now been not only declared, but the district surgeon said that he had been diagnosed with a mental illness, and on that basis he needs to be referred to a mental institution for observation. And this was argued by Zandile Mafe by saying, how can you charge my client with terrorism and at the same time saying that he is not compos mentis? But I'm now joined by the NPA's Eric Zalila. Eric, we heard in court today that the matter has now been postponed until the 11th of February, and this is, of course, for Zandile Mafe to go for mental observation.
Yes, I can confirm that. That comes at the back of us bringing a results of an observation done by a district surgeon who found that the accused suffers from paranoid schizophrenia. So we applied and argued in court that he needs to be sent for observation, so that when we start with the bail application, we don't find ourselves in a situation where it's found that the accused is not able to give instruction or understand the proceedings of the court. So it has been postponed now to the 11th for observation.
But with the knowledge of him having been diagnosed with a mental condition, why did the state still deem it fit and suitable to include a charge of terrorism?
That's why we referred him for 30 days. The recommendation or what came out from the district surgeon does not stop us from charging him. As we have indicated earlier, that the investigation is continuing and more charges are likely to be added. We did that. Now, everything and whatever else happens after this will depend on the report that comes from Falkenberg Hospital after the observation. It does not change the fact that he committed the crimes. It does not change the fact that there are charges like he's supposed to be facing. It's just that there is also this other concern, that is this issue that has been raised of him suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. So that's why we asked for him to be.
But with the added charge of terrorism, this, of course, now makes it a Schedule 6 matter.
Yes, remember earlier last week we said we are charging him with Schedule 5. After we viewed a footage of his presence in Parliament and what happened, we decided to change the schedule to Schedule 6, to that of a Terrorism Act, with using explosives to destroy Parliament. So we changed after that observation of the footage.
So from the National Prosecuting Authority's point of view, you have the right man and you have a strong case?
Ma'am, we are not in the business of persecuting people. We've got nothing personal against Mr. Mafe. I'm sure many of us, even in the organization, we did not know Mr. Mafe. So we have no reason to go and chase after him without any reason. The reason that we decided to, there are charges, we strongly feel that there is a case for him to answer. There is evidence against him that he needs to respond to. It is for that reason. And within the NPA, we got a process where, we try to explain to people, we've got a process where we scan the charges, we went through the charge sheet, and we guided the prosecution, the investigation, to ensure that when we take the case to court, there is a strong case that we take against the accused, and that we don't bring a case that is not winnable. We are bringing a case that we're strong, we are sure of, that there is a case for him to answer. You'll remember, we've done on numerous occasions where a case has been brought to us by the police. We'll end up returning the target to the police and say, go and further investigate. It is one of those where we know that, no, there is still some holes that need to be closed down. So even in this case, we've done that.
So what happens after 30 days if the psychologist or psychiatrist find that Mr. Mafe is not able or will not be able to follow the court proceedings? What happens then?
I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Let's rather wait for that 30 days and for that report, so that that report will guide us as the court and as the NPA on how we take matters forward.
Thank you so much for your time. And that was the NPA's Eric Ntabazalila. But as you can see, we've still got people standing at the back here who've come in support of Zandile Mafe. They say that he is innocent. They believe that the state and that the police have got the wrong person. And also echoing what his lawyer said last week, that they believe that Zandile Mafe is being used as a scapegoat. And they say that the person or the persons, as they put it earlier, are out there. The real perpetrators are still out there, and they're calling on the police and the NPA and the Hawks to go out and find the real perpetrators and to release Zandile Mafe. We also heard in court and also outside from his lawyer that as of today he will embark on a hunger strike because he believes that he should have been allowed to at least apply for bail today. He wanted to have that opportunity to apply for bail. He was not given that opportunity. Instead, the magistrate ruled that he must now be sent to Falkenberg Hospital for 30 days for mental observation, and he will then return to court on the 11th of February, and he is unhappy about that and says that he will embark on a hunger strike with immediate effect.
Sure. What a turn of events there. eNCA's Ayesha Ismail outside the Cape Town Magistrate's Court, tracking that appearance there by Zandile Mafe, who is now being sent for mental observation at a hospital for about 30 days. And at the same time, we hear that he is embarking on a hunger strike.